What's up, guys? Welcome back to Dead Malls, and welcome everyone to Season 5 of Dead Malls. Welcome everyone to the Michigan Expedition. On this journey, similar to Season 4, we break it up into 4 days where we travel up and through the entire state of Michigan, checking out and telling the stories of some of the greatest dead malls of all time, and I'm so excited to bring this to you. I hope you guys love it. And then after Michigan, we hit the road and we are going to go back to traveling the rest of the country, taking looks at other malls. I'm so excited to bring you all this season. I know it's going to be one of the best yet, and I hope you are all ready for this great journey we're about to embark on. Today, as we begin day 1, I headed out from my base of operations, determined to drive from northwest Iowa to central Michigan in 1 day. Was it smart? No, probably not. It was genuinely excruciating. But we did it in the end, and to start us off, we have Marshalltown's small Marshalltown Mall. Nestled right into the central retail corridor of town, Marshalltown Mall is easily one of my favorite Iowa malls, as it has some of the best retro aesthetics around, and is easily one of Iowa's emptiest malls. So how did it get this bad? And how did this once 4-anchor shopping mecca of small-town Iowa fall so hard? Well, let's head in, tell its story, and find out how Marshalltown Mall is doing in July of 2022. Apart from the signs telling you to keep going or you're going to miss out on something wild, which I was really quite intrigued by, but apart from that, the second you walk into Marshalltown Mall, it's like instant liminal anxiety. The backrooms feels, they are all here. From the rumbling ceiling AC and the old tile flooring, to the retro storefronts like the walled-off Lands Castle, which we'll see a really good picture of later. And when I walked in here, I was just instantly taken back to the pure love I had for this mall in Season 1. Oh, I missed it. Oh, it was so empty and quiet, and there's like only one store in here, and it was just such a serene mall to be in. Marshalltown Mall's story begins nearly 100 years ago in the small Iowan farming town of Marshalltown, Iowa. In 1926, Matthew Buxbaum was born into a modest family that owned a chain of grocery stores. Matthew, throughout his early life, would grow an interest in map-making and architectural development. Before his life's plans could be put into effect, however, the war would break out. Matthew would serve as a cryptographer, and when the war ended, he would finally be able to attend college at the University of Iowa, where he would attain his Bachelor of Arts degree in economics in 1949. Matthew would go on with his brothers Maurice and Martin to build the first shopping mall in Cedar Rapids, Iowa, in 1954, known as Town & Country Shopping Center. This mall would feature the family's 4th grocery store as an anchor, and as the mall development scene exploded, the 3 brothers would build more malls across the US with a headquarters in Des Moines, calling themselves General Management. However, in 1972, after more malls would rebrand themselves to General Growth Properties, becoming one of the largest mall development firms in the US, in turn moving to Chicago. However, that year of 1972, after going public on the New York Stock Exchange, they would head back home to build one more mall, one small mall to bring together their original core beliefs, a mall for town and country, Marshalltown Plaza Shopping Center. I can't get enough of the retro here. This old Yonkers with the huge glass bulbs and fake candles. It's like a Christmas Carol wonder. I remember when I was last here, and this space was being used as a discount furniture store, and now it's abandoned, yet again. The silence here, it speaks volumes, and I mean the crickets, they're really just proving my point. Also, that yellow tiled storefront on the left, Old Sam Goody, or was that elsewhere? Let me know below. Upon opening on August 2nd, 1972, Marshalltown Plaza Shopping Center would be flooded with residents and eager shoppers coming from as far as the Des Moines Metro. The Marshalltown Eye Openers, Drum and Bugle Corps, and Dixieland Band would accompany shoppers, marching up and down the halls as they explored the brand new mall. Of the 45 stores, 28 were open, with others coming later. Radio Shack, KB Toys, K Jewelers, Riddles, Musicland, Claire's, Hallmark, Foot Locker, Aladdin's Castle, and Sam Goody, among many others, would invite shoppers in. Upon opening, the mall concourse sat as much of what you see today. A town center scene to go with the theming, the mall featured benches, trees and plants, fountains, and a beautiful central skylight. On either end lie the mall's two anchors, Sears and Woolco. JCPenney and Yonkers would open shortly after in the mid to late 70s, bringing them all up to a pretty impressive 4 anchors and nearly 50 inline tenants. It wasn't until the early 80s that the first changes would begin to come. In 1982, Woolco would go out of business, quickly closing its location at the now renamed Marshalltown Center. This southern anchor would undergo several changes throughout its life. Soon after, Walmart would take over the space. This was the odd time when Walmart and Iowa tried to open their stores and malls. However, they only ever lasted until the 90s before building their own superstores. The mall wouldn't change too much throughout the years, however, Sears would leave at some point before 2000. This northern anchor space would be divided up into a few front-facing retail stores, with mall access being cut off. Now with 3 anchors being JCPenney, Yonkers, and Menards, the mall would begin its downfall. While architecturally pleasing in the 70s, the outdated aesthetics turned most people off, and people would simply make the drive to Des Moines to visit the bigger and better malls, or just go to the easier big box like Kmart or Walmart, which had just undergone a massive renovation, turning it into Walmart's new supercenter idea in 2003. It was now or never for the mall to make its move, but nothing would be done, and by the early 2000s, Marshalltown Center was losing tenants at a breakneck pace. Old favorites were simply going bankrupt or leaving entirely. Claire's, Sam Goody, Kay Jewelers, and sadly enough, Aladdin's Castle, which was actually the last operating Aladdin's Castle in Iowa before leaving in 2009. And with the recession would come the mall's worst years. I was gonna ask what the chop shop was before the chop shop, but it looks like it was always a hairdresser. I'm gonna go with Master Cuts. Those wood aesthetics throw off immaculate Master Cuts vibes. The chop shop itself was one of the last small businesses to close in the mall, leaving this entire old Sears wing completely empty, with just the echoes of former tenants left behind. Also on the right here, behind some of these oddly-shaped storefronts, which have long been closed, is the old theater, still operating, surprisingly. It has no mall access, and that's honestly probably a good thing, as dead mall deadness usually seems to seep into the theaters, but luckily it's been untouched. As the recession would pass over, it was simply night and day. Photos from before and into 2010 showed a still vibrant yet empty mall. Stores like Foot Locker, Walden Books, Christopher and Banks, Riddles, and such populate the barren halls accompanied by the fountains, but other than that, there's just no one. In 2012, the mall's third anchor would close once again, with Menards moving to its own standalone superstore across town. By 2014, simply renamed the Marshalltown Mall, things would only get worse, and quite apparent in the management scene as well, as GGP sold the mall to Moonbeam Capital. This is one company we haven't touched up much here on the channel, but they are essentially the Koan of the East Coast, letting such famous malls die like Gwinnett Place, Shoppingtown, and Century 3. So going forward, it was a sad truth that Marshalltown Mall's future was grim. The only thing they would manage to do was secure Hobby Lobby in the old Menards space, although mall access would be blocked off. Also around this time, the fountains would be shut off, and many of the plants would just be removed, leaving planters of literally dirt. On August 29th, 2018, Yonkers would close, leaving JCPenney as the mall's last anchor. However, they wouldn't last long either, after a 2019 purchase by Kohan for just $2.3 million. JCPenney would close, leaving Marshalltown Mall anchorless in 2020. It was just before JCPenney left when I made my first visit to this mall, and even then, it was just empty. I mean, just a few mom and pop businesses, but without any major draw, the mall suffered, and up until my visit in July of 2022, has lost every single one. Now sitting with just one operating discount clothing store, which literally needs signs to remind you that you aren't in an abandoned mall, and a nail salon, it's almost hard to believe that all of these old dark storefronts were once vibrant and filled with people, that the halls had a busy feel to them. And it's truly awe-inspiring and incredible that GGP, one of the most influential mall developers of the 21st century, got their roots here, and that it was Marshalltown Mall that was their love letter to small-town America and the golden age of shopping. And guys, I want to thank you so much for watching tonight's episode and for joining me here on this first episode of Season 5. Just coming off sickness, this has actually been really refreshing, and it's been good to get back into the swing of YouTube. Marshalltown Mall was an absolutely breathtaking mall, and I always find myself giddy when I get to visit its beautiful empty fountains and massive center court. While I do believe this mall's days are numbered, I still believe memories are to be made here. I mean, look at me. And I know so many people hold this amazing mall dear to their hearts. Please, down below, let me know some of your memories of Marshalltown Mall. If you guys enjoyed my Dead Mall content, consider subscribing so you miss out on future Dead Malls episodes. And head over to the Patreon for exclusive channel perks and a monthly Dead Mall Polaroid taken and signed by me. Next week, as we head into Illinois, we head to a very creepy Dead Mall. Probably one with the most liminal vibes you'll have ever seen here on the channel. Let's just say towering ceiling boxes of the creepiest green lights hover over a walled-off center court once populated by a Bonton brand. Guess which mall we'll be at, and I'll shout you out in the next episode. Anyways, until then, have yourselves a lovely day, and peace out, guys. See you later.